Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. How was your week?
It's been good.
Yeah.
We're actually on, I wouldn't call it necessarily vacation, but we're kind of on vacation this week. So,
Cool. So, if it's not a vacation, what is it?
it's a business trip, but it's like half business, half vacation. We're here for nationals for the Taekwondo nationals.
Got it. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's the trip to Vegas that you were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, I didn't know it was this week. Whoa.
Mhm.
Cool. When did you guys get here?
We got here on Tuesday.
Oh, how lovely. And how is it going so far?
Good. We got a rental car and we drove to Utah one of the days. So that was really fun. Yeah. And then he fights tomorrow and then we leave Sunday. So it's been good.
How fun!
Mhm.
Yee! I'm so excited! So, how are you feeling about what happens if he wins? Like, what's going
Mhm.
on with that?
I feel good. I mean, I'm really confident in him. So I feel like he'll win.
Okay.
And I feel
He
like,
is the national champion right now.
yeah. And then there's actually another nationals. There's two nationals that happen, and the next one is in San Antonio, which is a lot closer to where we are. So
Cool. Hey, Dad.
that's what's next.
Oh, beautiful. There's
Mhm.
two national champions, so he's one national. Is he both nationals or
Well, we didn't
champions?
compete in the other organization last year, so.
Got it. Got it. So cool. Oh, that's exciting. Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
So how was your relationship with money? Or homework was just to observe your
Mhm.
relationship with money last week. Hey,
Yeah,
Jude. So how is it going so far?
it's been interesting, like observing how my relationship with money is being in Vegas. Um, I think like it almost feels like the way I can explain it best is almost like if you had a falling out with a friend and then like y'all made up, but it's still like a little bit awkward, but you're like there's a little bit of like curiosity and you're like excited to be friends again kind of feeling. It feels like calm, but it's like kind of exciting, but kind of awkward.
Sure. And like a touch of awkwardness. You're
Mhm.
like, wait, how do I be with you again? Like, how do we chill together? Oh, that's
Mhm.
really fun. That's a really fun way to describe it, actually.
Yeah.
I love that they had a falling out. And you're kind of getting reacquainted.
Mhm.
Hmm. I love that. Getting reacquainted. Cool. How has your anxiety been since you've been there? Because that was one of the biggest challenges, right? Was your anxiety around spending money?
Mhm. Yeah, it's been good. I feel a little bit more like I think maybe in touch with my intuition on it, where I feel a little bit safer making choices and I don't feel like um I feel a little bit more where I know, okay, I don't need to do this or like, yeah, this is a good thing to do.
Good. Good. So got it. So then making purchases or spending based on your intuition is helping to alleviate some of that anxiety. Is that what you're talking about, babe?
Yeah.
Good. Cool. How did that come to you?
Well, I've been journaling, so I've been doing like they're called morning pages, and actually the day after that we had our session, I was journaling, and my dad was kind of coming in, and he was kind of showing me, he was like, "This is a lot." Like he was like, "This is," he brought me here to this space, and he was kind of showing me that a lot of it was going to be some generational stuff, and he was so I've also been watching some of your videos, like there's a ton of videos on yeah, in the group, and I've been
Yes.
slowly working my way through them. Yeah. um so I think it was like day 3 of
Yes.
the challenge that you did. Yeah, and it was like how to connect with your intuition and like where to find it in your body. And you said one part where like if you feel it in speaking to you from multiple places, like you can figure out where some of them are fear. And I was like, oh, oh shit, because at first I was like, there's like 5 places speaking to me. And I was like, okay, the one in my third eye is the one that's like, that's my intuition. But it was coming from like in my solar plexus too, really strongly. And I realized that was the one that was fear-based.
Yeah. Yeah, there was something really fascinating that occurred to us. So I don't know how long you've been following me or, how much you know about me and my team, but, after each metamorphosis, I get together with my coaches and we kind of talk about what happened. And essentially it's to help them understand why I do what I do, what they perceived to come out during session. It's essentially to help them become better coaches, right? And something that came out that was really fascinating in our last, deconstruction of our first session was the fact that your husband is the national champion of Taekwondo. And you guys own a martial arts school. You should be the most successful martial arts school that exists in this country. Like, that's really the truth of it. It's like, there's a lot of leverage. There's a lot of acclaim there.
Yeah.
That you guys can use in your marketing and that you can leverage, especially right now, that he's on the precipice for this next competition, is that you can actually take this wave of momentum and channel it into your marketing and leverage it, right? Yeah. Who doesn't want to be taught by the very best in this particular style of martial arts in the country? Mm-hmm. Like, who doesn't want to be taught by that guy? So here's what I'm hearing in the underneath of that is, because both of you are so shying away from the spotlight, it's simply not talked about as much as it needs to be talked about. Yeah. So, right. I just wanted to seed that into your awareness. Mm-hmm. And that as you're starting to think about your marketing, it's time to claim yourselves as leaders of this industry. Yeah. Tell me why. Tell me how you can claim yourselves to be leaders of this industry.
Well, I think that it is true. I think that I'll tell you, like, one thing that happens a lot of times whenever we are talking about it or he's telling someone, and it kind of comes up, he won't say anything. And so I have to be the one that, like, he's the national champion. And so he kind of, I don't know.
He doesn't even mention it?
He doesn't. I am the one every single time.
What the actual fuck? Okay.
So he started competing when he was 12, and he's been doing it since he was 5 years old. So I think he almost thinks it's like a little bit, like, he's nonchalant about it. He's like, whatever. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, yeah.
I think we should get him on our show after we're done with your session.
I told him, I was like, would you want to do it? Because I feel like we could put you in there and you
could. Yeah, that would be so fun. See if he would do it. And what we could do is we could clear his, this block that he has around shining, because that's what it is. Like, he doesn't think he's special. He doesn't think he's important. That's why it doesn't even come up in the conversation. Well, there's a way for you guys to be able to talk about his accomplishments without being dicks about it, right? Yeah. Because the thing is that both of you are so humble. There's very little that could come out of either of your mouths that would actually border on arrogance. And it reminds me of something that my business coach said to me one day, if you don't mind me sharing a little bit about my own journey to owning my power. It was in 2019, and I was at the first event that he was doing, that I was going to, that he had run. And, at that point, I was running a wealth mindset program. It was called Millionaire Mindset Mastery. And and I kept on getting ads for other money mindset professionals, and I was getting really frustrated with myself and with the industry. And I was just like, why, when there's all of these people, and most of them were men, and I fucking love men, so it's nothing against men, but I know that women have a tendency to shy away from owning their brilliance. I was like, why are all these men just like trumpeting about their results with money mindset? And they're getting like literally a fraction of the results that I'm getting with my clients. I was like, what's going on here? And my coach was like, well, are you talking about it? And I was like, well, I talked about it one time. And he was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be arrogant. I don't want to be the person who's like, oh yeah, I'm awesome, and I own these, and I did it, and I am God, and I am the best, and I am the most brilliant. And he's like, it's not about that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said these words that emblazoned themselves deep in my soul. No one gives a fuck what you think about your results. No one cares what you perceive about your accomplishments. The only thing they care about is, can you get them to their goals?
Yeah.
And then he said this, and I'll never forget it. Right now, there are thousands of people paying tens of thousands of dollars to people who cannot help them because they're bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't know that you exist. And
Yeah.
that is your fault. And I was like, damn!
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. So I would position that and reflect that back to you. Exactly. There are people out there whose dream it might be to do a regional championships, or to go to the Olympics, or to do something, or just to become the very best martial artists that they can be, or be taught by the best in the country. And they can't. And they're signing up with shitty martial arts schools who don't have the kinds of experiences and awards and accolades as you guys do, simply because you don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're doing with marketing, because marketing is hard, go find someone who does. Go find someone within your price point. You don't have to overextend yourself, but go find someone within your price point that can guide you as to how to market yourself. There are amazing books. I'll throw out a couple that I love. I love something Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. Expert Secrets is awesome. I love Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vee. I love guerrilla marketing is good. It's more ideas of how to market yourself on a budget than it is like marketing strategy, but it's really awesome. If you can afford to spend money on the very best person that you can find within your budget. I have a couple of recommendations for you. If you need someone to help you do a launch, then I can refer you to someone. If you need someone who is going to like teach you the whole, all the steps. My business coach has a book too. It's called, where is it? It is on my shelf somewhere. Oh, I think it's outside of my office. The Nuclear Effect. The Nuclear Effect by Scott Oldford. Thanks, Judy. Yes. In fact, like start with that one, because the positioning, he talks about omnipresence. He talks about how to consistently get in front of people who are your audience. Like if you don't know what you're doing, go find out.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason for you guys not to be the number one most successful martial arts school in Texas, baby. Like, I'm not even talking about your town. I'm talking about your state. There's no reason except for your unwillingness or inability to believe that it's possible for you. Now, that's why you signed up in the first place, right? You're like, how do I break through this? Which I totally understand. But okay, talk to me about what parts of what we just talked about, like hit home, resonate, punch you in the gut, or you disagree with.
Well, we have never really done any marketing. So we, our website is still like has pictures from our old location. So that was kind of our next thing that we wanted to do. Whenever we get home, we were like, working focused on this trip. And then when we get home, we were going to update our website. And that's like one of the main things that I want to do is I think I need to write his little kind of biography for him because he
I would.
won't do it for himself.
Yes.
He won't let himself.
Update the bio. In fact, while you're there, babe, like on your downtime, go ahead and like buy some of these books and just start reading them. Start getting some ideas, because website, you don't even freaking need your website. The only thing that you need your website for is so that people can go, wait, is this really legitimate? You could literally have one page there and it's totally fine. So don't spend a whole lot of time like pouring into your website. Make it perfect. Good is better than done. I mean, done is better than perfect. Yes, there we go. Done is better than perfect. So just, yeah, absolutely. Update with pictures of your current location. And just get your website so it's place holding. And then I'm guessing the next place for you will be to move to some type of social media marketing, some type of something. It's almost unfolding as a story, like telling his story in pieces, just from the beginning to now, like bringing people on a journey with you so they can actually feel like included in the whole thing. And if it's hard for him to talk about himself, then you interview him live,
That's a good idea.
Yeah, just in like 15 or 10-minute segments or 5-minute segments. How did you get, and you can just ask him one question each time. How did you get into it? Yeah. And then what happened? And then what made you want to go to nationals? And then what happened? How did it go? How many times did you have to go to nationals before you won? And what was it like to be the national champion? And like all kinds of you just brainstorm some questions so that you can really dig into his story.
Yeah.
And then that can go on YouTube and it can go on Facebook. Because you've never done any marketing, you probably don't need to spend any money on marketing for a while, which will be great. That'll be really great for you because you can do a lot of organic marketing for essentially free right off the bat. I'm going to guess you'll probably create a Facebook group and start cultivating like an audience. Yeah, there's so many things that you can do to crack open and crack into. I love that, Cass. Yeah. A weekly newsletter sharing a small piece about him and the school, and then a martial arts tip. Yeah, for sure. A free class to come and try the school and blasting that all around your town. That might be a time that you would use like a boost post. So it's not as necessarily expensive as running ads, although you could run ads probably for fairly cheap, just targeted right at your town and the surrounding towns. But yeah, there's so many things that you can do that you don't have to spend a ton of money on. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be real busy. You're trading time for money at this point. But yeah, there's a lot of juiciness to crack into with this. And here's what I can feel. If your money worries are alleviated, you'll feel more comfortable hiring someone to do what you had been doing. So then you can go off and be you. Yeah. You can delve more into your herb stuff and your healing stuff and, teaching about intuition and things like that. Yeah, great. Doing exhibits at local functions. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God. I can just imagine that intro. And we're welcoming up the national champion who runs this local martial arts studio whose mission is to XYZ. Welcoming, what's your hubby's name?
Lance.
Lance. I don't even think I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are so cute. Welcoming up Lance McDonald. I was like, the national champion is here. They're gonna be like, I saw the national champion at this event. People are impressed by stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They are, even if you're not. Like, I know you are, even if he's not. Like, even if he's not impressed by himself. Hey, Saida. Like, other people will be. It just needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Is he there? Can he hear me right now?
No, he can't. He went to go weigh in.
He went to go weigh in. Okay, good. Cool. All right. So this is very exciting. Very exciting. Okay. So what parts of you are feeling any pushback to what we're talking about? Feeling any kind of resistance to what's coming up that we're talking about today?
I think it is easy to feel a little bit overwhelmed because there's like, I'm kind of like, I guess, where do I start? And
Got it.
I kind of instantly launch into like, where's the time for it? We do homeschool our kids too, so that.
Okay. Where do I start? There's not enough time.
We have been doing stuff though. Like I've kind of, I guess, slowly been doing it because we just like redid our kind of lobby area. And we did like, I was like so insistent upon it where he was kind of like, I don't know. It's like, no, we need a trophy shelf. And so we have a trophy shelf.
Yes.
We have like 4 national champion pictures. And I'm like, we bought an extra frame. I was like, this is for your next one. So we like, we're starting to kind of.
He's been the national champion 4 times.
The first time he won, he was 16. And so he didn't compete every year. He's won like bronze and silver as well. But yeah. I think part of what he's kind of like, oh, well, I want to be, before we met, he broke his leg and like he was, I don't want to like say, I think that he was like on his way to the Olympics. Essentially, he was like going to go start competing internationally. So for him, he's like, like, I need to compete internationally. Like, this is cool, but like, I can do so much more. And so I think that's kind of where he's like, he
got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Where he's kind of holding himself back a little bit. Mm-hmm. But obviously, the frustration is real. But that doesn't mean that you have to. Like, here's the thing: is like the international students are going to have to fly a really long way to go to the martial arts school. Mm-hmm. That's really fun.
Everyone's still like, everyone here is still impressed, honey. It's like you.
Yeah, exactly. You've won 4 fucking times. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right. So he's carrying the burden on himself that it's not good enough. And that's why it's hard for him to talk about. Yeah, that makes sense. Another thing that came up was sponsors. There's no reason that you guys should be traveling internationally without sponsors, like without people sponsoring you. So definitely reach out to companies and, invite them to sponsor a national champion. I bet that you could get someone to sponsor him currently as the national champion. Mm-hmm. Like, just even freaking Google it. Like, I bet you could.
Yeah.
4-time national champion? Fuck, man. And Taekwondo is not like an unknown sport. It's so popular.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. This is exciting. Oh, man. Okay, so we've got the overwhelm. There's not enough time. Okay. There's not enough time to do all of the stuff that needs to be done. Okay. Mm-hmm. I think we should clear that limiting belief today. Yes. Okay. Cool. Do you also have one that you have to do it all yourself?
What do you mean?
Like, are you not allowed to ask for support?
Okay, so there was something that I wanted to tell you because this is what came up with when I was journaling and talking to my dad, and it was about support. Um, and I was gonna tell you because I was like, every time that you're telling me like a compliment, it's like I like want to dodge it. It's like this instinct, and I'm like, oh, I want to grab it, but like it instinctually like it slides off me, and so my dad was kind of showing me that it's like I can see where in his life he didn't allow himself to be supported. And I'm in a women's group, and it's like a support group, and I feel myself. It's almost like they're holding hands and I'll be like on the outside when I'm not, but I like can't seem to integrate in and like allow myself to be supported.
That's a very important noticing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't allow yourself to be supported by humans, there's no way you'll allow yourself to be supported by God, by abundance, by money. Like you just won't allow it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Jen. Historically, you have been the same way with compliments. Although I feel like you're turning around now. Okay. Beautiful witnessing, Amy, to be supported. Okay. You intentionally keep yourself on the outside of the support circle. Wow, that's fascinating. Why? Finish this
I
sentence.
don't really know.
Finish this sentence. I keep myself on the outside of the support circle because
I think it's like because of a fear of rejection and being vulnerable.
mm, what
I think there's
happens if you're vulnerable, babe?
I don't know. I guess it's just like let me think about it for a second.
Yeah.
I think there's been times where like I said something and then I'm like, shit, now this person knows this about me and I can never take it back. That's
What's
like a lot
scary,
of the feeling.
what's scary about that?
I guess just like I don't it's not necessarily what they think of me, but how it impacts like my relationships, where they take it. And
And use it against you?
yeah, I think that is kind of how it feels.
Has that happened to you in the past where people have taken intimate details about you and then used it against you, like to shame you or to manipulate you?
I do think so, and I know that it definitely happened to my dad.
Got it. Okay. If they know this about me, they can use it against me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that feel true?
Not really, because
Hmm.
there's nothing that I have that's really. I don't have many things to hide, but there's just like it feels.
There's just the mechanism there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I love your dad. He's so cool. How he just showed up and was chit chatting with you. That's so neat. That's so cool. It feels like since you were open, like since we had that conversation, it feels like his place as a spirit guide is much more solid. Have you noticed a shift in the
Yeah, I
certainty
have.
of his presence? Yeah.
I
Okay.
think he's like one of the people that I 100% allow to support me, which is
Mm.
interesting.
Ooh, we can leverage that. Okay. We can send abundance through him.
Cool.
Yeah. So we can let the open door be through him and then he can send abundance through his energy to you. That's perfect. We can leverage that. Yeah. 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 Always the path of least resistance, right? Always. Okay. Okay. Cool. So we've got that. Then we've got the vulnerability. There's not enough time. Can we do these all three together? Yes. Oh, wonderful. Okay, cool. Will you give me some information about how to do that? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to do time, vulnerability, and then receiving. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a little exercise that my coach literally just taught me in my last coaching session. I'm going to go ahead and pay it forward to you. So what you're going to do when you receive a compliment, instead of letting it slide off, what I want you to do is I want you to hold it and then bring it in and feel it in your body. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than saying words to deflect or redirect or changing the subject, you're going to receive that compliment. You're going to bring it into your body. You're going to feel how it feels inside your body, and you're going to say something to the nature of, thank you, I received that. Okay, now let's scroll up here because you've been getting lots and lots of compliments. Okay, so let's see. Judy says, you seem and feel so much lighter this week.
Thank you.
Good. Good job. Cass says, you are such a beautiful soul.
Thank you.
How does it feel to receive those rather than let those roll right off?
The first one made me feel lighter, and then the second one, like, it instantly was like, it's just.
It made you feel emotional because you actually received it.
Yeah.
You did so good. Judy says you look gorgeous with your hair down.
Thank you.
That one made you sparkly. Good job. Amy, you're doing a really fantastic job at receiving compliments.
Thank you.
Beta says you have such an innocent energy. And if I can, I'm going to speak for you, Beta, because I can feel where you're coming from. You have such a purity about you.
Thank you.
Okay, no, try again. There it is. There it is. You're doing so great. Oh, it's so hard for you to receive love. Where do you think that comes from?
I think it just feels like such a beautiful compliment, and like a way that I haven't really felt like it seen, when maybe I felt it about myself, but I couldn't really accept it about myself because others didn't really see it.
Weren't reflecting it back to you. Mm-hmm. Aw, Beta's crying too because she feels you so deeply right now. Oh, it's so beautiful. You are so held. You are so held, even if just by these unknown faces who you have never seen before and never interacted with.
You know, I feel really like safe in this space too, like with everyone that's here supporting. It feels like.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, excellent. That was fantastic. This, yes, Jude's exactly. This right here, baby, is the key to beginning to be able to receive. And it doesn't have to have all of the complicated steps. Oh, Judy's crying too. Oh, it doesn't have to have all the complicated steps of knowing why you don't feel deserving and stuff like that. All of that will come. Like all of that will come in time. But just allowing yourself to open up and receive is a really, really, really huge step. And I want you to start to notice everywhere where love is reflected back to you. Whether it's just you're walking down the street and you pass a baby and it smiles at you, or you're watching a beautiful sunset and it just feels like God is loving on you, like he created that sunset just for you, just for your pure enjoyment. Or it's coming from Lance and he's saying how much he loves you and appreciates you. You have to fucking receive that shit. Yeah. Or or it's coming from money, or it's just coming from, like, it's showing up as fun. I want you to notice just all the ways. Or it's showing up as your lunch was $5 less than you thought it was going to be. Just love showing up as discounts, as surprise gifts, as all kinds of just lovely little signs that remind you how loved you are. Now, I will share with you one of the hardest things to do with this exercise is, like, on your birthday, to receive each of those birthday wishes. Like, I can't get past 3 without bawling my eyes out. Because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so loved. And you move into this really, like, just unwound. I don't want to say broken, but just unwound, cracked open state where you're like, oh wow, okay, I'm so loved by everything from all sides, like at all times. I'm so held, even if I can't trust that I'm held all the time. Hey, Cece, welcome. It's so beautiful to be able to do that exercise. Okay, now we're going to move into our process. How are you feeling? That was a really beautiful shift for you.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm being too, just like, there's been a lot of things even this week, like we went on a hike and it was really beautiful, and there was like we saw like a little bunny hop by, and Lance was like kind of not being present, and then I think at that moment he like shifted into being present, and we were talking about it hiking back, and I was like, that bunny was like for you, right? And he was like, yeah, I like opened up to this space and it gave me a bunny, and then like right after another bunny hopped
no
out.
Way!
And it was like a jackrabbit with like giant ears, and it was like king of the rabbits. It was awesome.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and the symbolism, jackrabbits symbolize abundance. Because they are, like, number one, rabbits are incredibly abundant. Yeah. And number two, they have this really fun, playful, lively energy that is very, very similar to abundance. And so it's literally like God being like, come on, Lance. Come on, Lance. Come with us. We got so much goodness for you. Come on, buddy. It's so cool. Yeah, that's so neat. Another cool thing would be that Lance would be our first male participant on Metamorphosis. That would be really cool. And I love the idea of doing a husband and wife back to back. I think that would just be so dang cool. Yeah, that'd be neat.
I'm gonna tell him that he's like specifically invited, and so I feel like he'll feel more like, oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Oh, I love that. Yes. If we can make him feel honored as an honored guest. Yes. Come on, Lance. Myron's like, come on, Lance. I love it. So cool. All right, my love, let's do this thing. So just start by taking some nice deep cleansing breaths. I love your communication. It's so open and flowy with him.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, you guys are close.
Mhm.
You like each other a little. As you breathe out, breathing out any tension, any heaviness, there's some in your head and your shoulders and your lower back. I'm just going to breathe it out, breathe it up and out of your body, out of your mouth. Letting it go, letting it flow down and out of the body, out of the mind. And as you do that, just opening up your heart. And even though it feels very dangerous to keep your heart open, what we're going to do is we're going to put the net of Archangel Michael over your heart space. So Archangel Michael's net actually shows up as electric blue. So as you put that net over your heart space, what it's going to do is it's actually going to filter out any negative thoughts, words, actions, people, and energy. It's going to act as a buffer. It's going to act as a repellent. It's going to be a boundary for you so that it actually naturally repels anybody who would use your vulnerability to torment you. And then we're going to put a second layer of the net in front of the first layer to catch any debris. And then you can just take the top layer off and you can empty it. You can throw it at an electric socket and put another net in its place. That way your heart is always protected, but it's not closed or guarded. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And when you can keep your heart open, you can create and strengthen beautiful connections with people. When you feel safe to keep your heart open most of the time, nod your head for me. Beautiful. Okay. Next, I'm going to count you from 5 down to 0. And at 0, you will find yourself in a place that feels very secure, very safe, very protected. The only person who can get in and out of that space is you, unless you specifically invite an energy, a person, a symbol, an image into the space with you. Does that make sense? It can be any kind of space. It can be inside or outside. It can be real or imagined. It can be on planet Earth or somewhere in space. It can be between time, whatever feels right for you. As I count you from 5 down to 0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. When you're there, nod your head for me. Good. And I want you to imagine that you could invite and allow time to come into this space with you. And as time enters this space, how does it show up?
Like a clock.
Beautiful. What's its energy like?
It reminds me of like the little white rabbit in Alice in Wonderland.
I'm late. Yeah. I love it. Beautiful. Okay. How does it feel for you to be around time?
It feels kind of like I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm kind of like, oh, what's wrong over there?
Good. I want you to step into it now so that you're inside of it, not outside of it. What's that like?
Chaotic.
Mm-hmm. Ask time what it needs.
Patience.
Beautiful. Is that something that you can give it?
Yeah.
Good. How does that affect time when you say yes to giving it that? To giving it patience?
It calmed down.
Good. Beautiful. What else does time need?
Respect.
Can it be more specific in its request for respect?
It looks like it's showing like a schedule.
Okay. So it wants you to have your schedule more planned out. Is that what I'm inferring?
Yeah.
Okay. Since I can feel that you're a creative spirit and therefore extremely resistant to schedules, let's ask if we can, if time will allow you to schedule it into movable blocks. So that rather than saying, okay, at 8 we're doing this, at 8:30 we're doing this, at 8:45 we're doing this, you can have blocks. So you can have getting ready time, relaxing time, marketing time, business time, financial time, kid time, homework time. And you can just pivot and shift those blocks around as necessary. So that way you can still have the fluidity that your soul craves, but you can also respect time in a way that it's asking to be respected. Is it willing to allow you to do something more like that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. How does that feel for you to know that?
Good.
Better?
Yeah.
Less resistance.
About it, it was like, it was like negotiated. It's like, all right.
Exactly. Absolutely. Because we're free-willed beings, everything in the entire cosmos is open for negotiation. And since there's so many energies here to support us, it is working. It's always working in our favor, as long as we can respect certain boundaries. How does time react to this agreement between you two about creating a more of a loosely time blocked schedule?
They feel content.
Okay. What else does time need?
Feels like freedom.
Interesting. Give it freedom. Notice how much it expands. What do you notice about the expanding of time?
infinite.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Anything not accomplished on this day can be done on the next. Anything not accomplished in this lifetime can be done in the next. It is infinite. It moves in a specific way on Earth, and that is a contract that we've taken to work within a 24-hour day. But that's just a very limited perception of time. Sometimes we forget and we think that that's all that there is, and so it comes to us as incredibly scarce. Now, it's important to understand that our time in one body is limited because sometimes we need that momentum to drive some actions. But if we get too fixated on that, we can put ourselves in a frenzy. And then it stops benefiting us and starts harming us. Good. What else does time need?
Feels like joy and love.
Wow.
And gratitude.
Wow. Is that something that you're willing to do?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Go ahead and send time some joy, some love, some gratitude. How does it respond to that?
It feels like it's thankful. It feels like seen. Like honored.
Yeah. Within this context, Ames, thinking that statement that you said before, there's not enough time, how does that land with you in this space?
It doesn't make sense.
Good. Locking that into place. Do you see, do you feel, do you perceive, can you know, can you feel certain about this current perception of time being the most accurate perception of time?
Yes.
Beautiful. That's what we're locking in. Let's give that a 3 count to integrate. 3, 2, 1, 0. Beautiful. Thank time for being here. And then when it's ready, you can release it, putting love and light around it, sending it back whence it came. And then when ready, calling your dad back in again. When he's here, nod your head. Good. And now I want you to notice the connection between him and you, where you allow yourself to receive 100% of his support. Notice that, with no blocks, no restrictions. Once you've noticed that, nod your head for me. Good. Now, allow abundance to move through that energy, to move through that tunnel to you. Abundance, resource flow, money. How does that feel?
My heart feels really open. Feels like some energy moving like up out of my throat.
Beautiful. Anything that wants to be released, just breathe it out through your mouth. Beautiful. Keep receiving, keep receiving, keep receiving, keep receiving. And just keep your door open to receiving from him. Open, 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 open. Is that okay? Good. We're just locking all positive learnings from today deep into the unconscious mind at 0, which is deeper. Allowing anything that you no longer want or need to be vented out in your early morning venting dreams. One is a nice deep cleansing breath in. Two is coming back to the body, back to the room. 3 is a wonderful sense of well-being. 4, an even more alert number. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake and alert. Hi. Welcome back. How are you feeling?
Good. I feel
You
really
look so dreamy.
Yeah.
Like,
Even my voice sounds like a little different.
yeah. Yeah. You know what's so fascinating is that I've noticed that about myself is every time I up level, the resonance of my voice changes. It's really fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, because as your vibration is shifting, it affects all levels of vibration in your body.
Yeah.
Super fun stuff. All right, my lovely. So your homework is start looking into doing some marketing and, of course, time blocking your schedule. Just like time asked you to. Okay, yay! Thank you, Amy. You did such a great job of opening up and being vulnerable today. It seems like it was easier for you today than it was last time.
Yeah.
Good. We so appreciate you. Thank you for being part of this journey with us, and thank you for letting people witness this.
Yeah, thank you.
You did it!
Yeah.
Oh, that's your other homework. Receive compliments and feel them in your body. Yes, that's right. Compliments. You're like, dang, I was hoping you were going to forget that. And feel them. Gorgeous. Have an amazing week. So much good luck to Lance for tomorrow. Can't wait to find out when he became the national champion the 5th time. And then to hear some ideas about how you're going to leverage his success to grow your business.
Cool. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. So grateful for you. Aw, yay, good luck to the champ. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.